Again, thank you so much for joining. We're going to talk about building positive reviews. Obviously, you know it's important, or you would not be here. I want to show you a product that we have. So obviously, there's a little bit of a sales pitch towards the end here, but we want to give you some actionable and some practical information that you can take and that you can use today. Be prepared for some construction imagery because we're talking about building reviews, right? A little bit about me. I love what I do. I love internet marketing. I love social media. I love helping dentists market their practice online, and I enjoy it. So, hey, we're also available if you enjoy this talk. We're also available to do some webinars to small groups. If you got a bigger group, we may be even able to come out and speak to you. So, let me know, and I'll give you my contact info at the end of the meeting today. A little bit about Smile Savvy, sister company of Dentists for Kids. We've been around for 15-plus years. This is our great team. It's only part of it. We've actually grown since this picture was taken last year. We're still small enough that you get to know each of us, but we're big enough that there is an expert in literally every field of internet marketing and website design. So I like to tell people, they ask, what do we do for dentists? And I say, well, if it's online, we do it. We do some print marketing as well. However, here's something that's really important. Traditional marketing is dead. Nobody uses these things anymore. Nobody uses Yelp. In fact, when one comes to my house, it will sit on that front porch until it looks probably close to this before I throw it into the recycle bin. So if you've got one of these, let me start off by saying this entire presentation, go ahead and cancel your listing. It's a money pit, and nobody is using it. In fact, they're not using that, but this isn't even how people use anymore. They're not going, word of mouth has now gone digital. So instead of getting on the phone and telling and asking people or asking our coworkers, a lot of times we're going online to find out. 90% of U.S. adults are online, and 85% of those internet-connected adults say that they read online reviews for local businesses. So the old way of doing things, this guy says, I need a hard hat. I don't even buy a hard hat. Can you suggest one? No, that's not happening anymore. Let me tell you how we're doing it. We're going online, and we're looking at reviews. I want a hard hat. I'm going to go to Amazon. I'm going to look at it. Oh, I found this one. 127 reviews. They've got a 4.5, almost 5-star rating. Oh, and plus it's $10 for free shipping. So I'm going to buy it. That's how purchase decisions are made today. Reviews really matter. In fact, get this, there is a 360% increase in the number of people who visit your website when you have a review. So your listings are literally mini advertisements. And when someone sees you on Google or somebody goes and looks at you on Bing, they're going to see that you have reviews or you don't have reviews. I'm going to tell you the listings, the results that are there that have reviews are the ones that are going to get the clicks. Now, the flip side of how they can help you is that negative reviews will kill your dental practice. Check out this study. They ask internet-connected adults, if you found an insurance provider online with negative reviews from customers, how likely would you be to choose it? Look what they said. Almost 63% said they were not likely to choose it. So, 63% of people are saying we're not going to pick this insurance company because we see that they've got negative reviews online. They matter. They can hurt your business. You know that, of course. But the problem is, and the reason you're listening to me today, is that building positive reviews can be really hard work. Why? Why is it so hard? Well, really because, to be honest, not a lot of people leave reviews. In fact, most people who are online are not actively leaving reviews. Most of your patients are not leaving you reviews, and you know that because some of you are here and you've been in the dental industry for a long time, and you don't have you have 0 reviews. Some of you may have 2 or 3 reviews, and people just don't read reviews. In fact, look at this: 78% of internet users said they almost never leave reviews. Well, if you look at those other statistics, it really shows you that a very, very small percentage of people are shaping public opinion about your dental practice. So only a handful of people are even leaving reviews. So it's tough work. And the reality is, Simple solutions aren't always the best solutions. So sometimes when you are able to get tons of reviews online, those aren't in places that people will even see. I'm going to give you two examples. The first is demand force. And so you may have demand force. I'm certainly not here to disparage anybody's company or anybody's product or anything like that. Let's talk specifically about getting reviews through demand force. Here's a dentist that I picked at random. They have 99.5% of patients say they would refer their friends and family. They've got 252 reviews. That's significant. Well, you'll notice they don't have any 3-star reviews, any 2-star reviews, no 1-star reviews. So 250 reviews, I can almost guarantee you that most of their patients have never even heard of demand force. Most of your patients have no idea that this site is even out there. They're not looking at that. So they've got 250 positive reviews, but really a lot of people are even getting to see those reviews. How about Rate-A-Biz? If you're a Lighthouse customer, same thing with that. Getting reviews through Lighthouse can be super easy. Here is a dentist in New York, and 97%. They got 432 reviews. Now, again, not only are people not seeing these reviews, but they're also not trusting these reviews. Why? Well, because they don't have any out of 430 reviews. And I don't know, Dr. Gaynor, maybe an amazing dental practice. But out of 430 reviews, 0 1-star, 0 2-star, and this is, no offense, we got some New York people in the room. No offense to you guys, but impossible to get that high of a rating. And your patients know that. They understand that. And so they're not looking at those reviews. Where are they leaving reviews? Where are people saying, well, check this out. 3 sites, Google+, Facebook, and Yelp. About 70% of all reviews online are left on these 3 sites alone. So this is where people are leaving reviews when they leave them. And it also can be difficult to get reviews. So how do you build reviews where it actually matters? How do you build reviews where people will actually see those reviews? So I'm going to give you 3 steps, and these 3 steps are put together in this product that we offer. We'll talk to you about. We'll show you a live example of that at the very end of the presentation. But there's 3 ways to build positive reviews. Step number 1, you're going to request. You're going to ask for them. Step number 2, you're going to respond. So when you get a negative review or you get a positive review, you're going to respond. Step number 3 is to regularly monitor. So you got to keep your eyes on what the world is saying about you online. So let's take the first one, request. How are you going to ask for reviews? Well, first of all, you do have to ask. So let me just say this. If there's any hesitancy at all that you have about asking people to review you online, to tell you how you're doing, then that is something you're most definitely going to have to get past, because it's not the reality of the world that we live in today. People are used to being asked for surveys. They're used to asking me, tell us how we did. They see it on the bottom of every receipt that they get at every place that they shop. They're used to it. And further, if they like you, which is ultimately the goal, and that's really the way you get positive reviews, is get them to like you. If they like you, then they're going to jump at the chance if you just make it easy for them, if you show them how to do it. So verbally ask them. Not only that, so use email. So here is the Review Pro Get Reviews email system. We're going to dig into this a little bit deeper, but however you do it, email is still a great way. So sending out a simple email and asking people to review. Here's what that email looks like through the Review Pro system. So we've got a template. They fill it out. You put an email address there. It sends them this email, and then it links to their website. So not only can you tell people verbally, honestly, you can send out email, but use your website. If your website does not have a place where people can easily find out how to leave you a review, if it doesn't have a review us button that goes somewhere or does something, if you don't have that system, you need that. Your website is still the center of your internet presence. This is the review site that we're going to feature today through Review Pro. How about running a contest? This is especially helpful with Facebook. Facebook is really kind of a Wild West. Anybody with a Facebook account can leave you a review. Those reviews don't go away. They don't disappear. They don't go anywhere. You can't get rid of it. It's very, very difficult to deal with a negative review on Facebook. However, it's incredibly easy, in fact, easier than any other network, to get positive reviews. Here's an actual contest that one of our customers ran. and they've been successful in getting some positive reviews after getting a negative review, so that they could do that. And again, this isn't unethical at all. You're not asking for positive reviews. You're just simply asking for people to review you. Now, talking about places where people can review you, all of us are familiar with Google. You're familiar with Facebook. Yelp, a lot of people are not as familiar with. However, of all the calls that we receive about reviews, Yelp is probably the 90+% of all the calls that I take when people talk about where they get negative reviews. A few notes about Yelp. Two things that are very important. First of all, 80% of first-time reviews are actually filtered out by Yelp's algorithm, and they appear as not recommended. So Yelp uses an algorithm, a computer algorithm, to determine whether they think reviews are legitimate or whether they're not. If you haven't had a whole lot of reviews and all of a sudden you just flood Yelp with a whole bunch of reviews, those are probably going to get filtered out into their not recommended section. If you're trying to get reviews and you've got a whole bunch of people that are in your office or in one location who are submitting reviews, Yelp's keen to that. Their algorithm is going to block that out. So it can be difficult to get reviews. You need to focus on people who are Yelp users. Premium Yelp listings aren't usually worth the money. Those sales guys are usually on commission, so a lot of times they'll tell you that this will help you get more reviews, or they can help you remove negative reviews. They can't. Most legitimate sites will not allow you to remove a negative review, so don't worry about doing that. Not only that, but you can repurpose those not recommended reviews. So one of our customers, for example, I saw yesterday, they have actually 54 not recommended reviews. These are legitimate reviews. These are from their patients, but for whatever reason, Yelp filtered those things out. You can repurpose those. What do you do with them? Copy and paste them. Put them into your Facebook page. Make a Facebook post. Here's what people on Yelp are saying about us. Copy and paste them. Put them on your website. Here's what people are saying about us. Repurpose those reviews. Remember, Yelp does not own those reviews. Those reviews are technically owned by the person who left them, and they're leaving them for public use. So repurpose them. If they're not showing up on Yelp, maybe you can get them to show up somewhere else. So step number one, of course, is to what? It's to ask. Step number two is to respond. So we want to request for reviews, and then we want to respond to reviews, whether they're positive or whether they're negative. Now, what you're going to do when you leave here probably is you're going to start looking at your reviews, and you're going to start looking at whether you've responded to them. Where do you cut off? I'm going to say about 6 months. So anything that's older than 6 months, you probably want to just use your judgment whether you should respond to that or not. Anything that's kind of old, you may, if you do respond to it, you're going to say, sorry, we just now saw this, we just now found this online, and then give you a response. So kind of use your judgment with that. But from here on out, okay, from here on after this webinar, every review that you get, whether positive or negative, always respond to it. Let me give you an example of one of our reviews. And if you're one of our customers and you're not, we would love for you to leave us a review. Here's the review that was left for us on Facebook. Dr. Kochman, been a great customer for many years, left us this review, and so we responded. Dr. Kochman, we love working with you and your staff. You got such a fun practice. Thank you for your business. Here's what I want you to see in this. Be personable. Be real. You are a person. You're not a business. You're a person talking to another person. And so make it seem that way. Make it seem friendly. Don't have a canned response. Don't use the same exact response for everybody. You be creative. Think about something personal that you can bring up that you love about that person. Obviously, don't give any confidential health information out, but just let people know that you really appreciate that they did that. We're going to show you a system that's, in just a minute, that's actually going to make it really easy for you to respond to all these reviews. How about negative reviews? How do you respond to those? Because quite honestly, it's pretty easy to respond to a positive review. You just say thank you. How do you respond to a negative review? A lot harder. Well, here's the first thing. First, try that again. There we go. Always respond, but consider waiting. So you want to always respond to a negative review, no matter how nasty it is, no matter how many paragraphs they filled out. Respond to that negative review. But you may want to consider waiting a little bit so that you don't respond emotionally. So you get this at 4 o'clock on Thursday afternoon. It probably can wait until Friday morning before you respond to the negative review. Think about what you want to say. And again, don't respond on the spur of the moment. Obviously, now, of course, this is common sense, but you'd be surprised at how many businesses don't take this simple advice. Never be argumentative. Don't sound defensive. Don't sound like you're making excuses. Keep it short, keep it conciliatory, keep it sweet, right? Don't share protected health information. The last thing you need to go along with a negative review is for you to get hit with a HIPAA violation because you shared what kind of insurance that person was on or what kind of treatment plan that patient was undergoing. Keep it generic, keep it short, keep it sweet, and then make it right, even if it costs you. You know, if it costs you $100 to make somebody happy, while that may seem like extortion, I can almost guarantee you when you get a negative review, you'd pay $100 to get that negative review off, which is not going to happen. So do what you can to make it right, even if it costs you. And then if it gets resolved, don't hesitate to ask them to change the review. So we might not think about this, but this is an effective thing, and it's also a very legitimate thing. If you resolve a situation for somebody, if you respond to a negative review and you say, "We are so sorry that you had this difficulty. We would love to talk to you about it," and then you give them your contact information, they're again taking the conversation offline. If something happens and you're able to resolve that to their satisfaction, go back to them and say, you know, online reviews really matter to us. They really affect our business. Would you mind, if we've resolved this to your satisfaction, would you mind going in and editing your review? And all of these major sites will allow you to do that. So, of course, you know, the easiest way to avoid getting a negative review in the first place is not just, or the easiest way to clean up a negative review is not to get one in the first place. So honestly evaluate your patient experience and examine your trouble spots. So if you have the same issue that tends to pop up in your negative reviews, you need to deal with that. So many times we see reviews that say something like this: "I love the dentist. My child loves going to this dental office. However, their hygienist or their front office or their business manager is so rude." Take care of those situations, all right? So pay attention to where the trouble spots are. Look at what people are getting upset about and fix those. You try to avoid it on the front end, being proactive. And then next, give patients a chance to complain away from review sites. So we're going to show you how to do that in just a second using Review Pro. So give them a chance to complain away from review sites so that they're not complaining in a place that everybody is looking at. So we said you need to request, you need to respond, and then you need to regularly monitor. So that is where we really want to talk about this product that we've got that's called Review Pro, and how it will allow you to regularly monitor the reviews that you have. I believe we've actually got some customers that are with us in this webinar today, and you already have Review Pro, so this will help you get some ideas of how you can use it more effectively. It's called Review Pro. So let's look at it real quick. Let's show you a live example. Whoops, let's go back. Sorry. Let's show you a live example of Review Pro. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go in and we are going to log into the site real quick. So I've already got the login information saved. Real simple. We've tried to keep everything real clean, real smooth, easy for you to use. Here's the Review Pro dashboard. On the left-hand side, you see kind of a general feel, a general idea of how you're doing in reviews, what's been said about you, what's been posted here recently, how you're doing over the last 6 months, how you're doing since you've logged in. On the right-hand side, you see a pull here of all the reviews that are from the Dentist for Kids website, from Google+, from Facebook, and also from Yelp. Now, we're looking at a live example here. This is actually Dr. Rosas. This is her Review Pro dashboard. She doesn't have any Yelp reviews, so that's why you're not seeing any of those right there. But this system scans the internet, and at least every 24 hours or less, it's going to post new reviews right here for you to see. You really have two options that you can, how you can deal with these. First of all, you can publish them, and that means that they're going to go directly to your website. They're going to be published onto your website, or you can respond. Let's show you what happens here when you click on respond. Let's look at one of these sites here. Maybe you're more familiar with. Let's look at Google. So I'm going to click on this. It's going to take me directly, especially if you're already logged in, and that would be our suggestion. Use a computer that you're logged into. It's going to take you directly to your Google Plus page, and watch how easy this is. We're going to manage the page. We're going to go to reviews, manage our reviews, and we're going to see a list of all these reviews, and you're going to be able to reply to this review right here. So it's that easy. So when I go to Review Pro Dashboard, now it's going to say that I've responded. Let's say that I changed my mind. I didn't actually respond. We can go up here, choose an option, mark as not responded. Right? What happens if I publish one of these? Let's look. Let's look at this Dentist for Kids listing. We're actually going to mark it as unpublished real quick. So we can go back, and again, we can kind of change our minds once in a while. Let's actually publish that on the website. So I click this, turns gray, and now let's go to Dr. Rosas's website real quick and see what that looks like. So here's her website. She's got a link to review us. And these will automatically and instantly feed, and there's that one that we just published. So they automatically and instantly feed into your website. Now you'll see the star rating system up here. We'll talk about that. I'll show you how it works. Let's go back to the Review Pro site. So in addition to being able to see what people are saying about you, publish those instantly on your website, be able to respond to those, you're also going to be able to get reviews. And this is that screenshot I showed you a second ago. We've got templates in here that are already written out for you, or you can create your own, or you can edit these. You could save them for later. This is how easy it is. You're going to put in an email address, and you're going to instantly be able to send your favorite patients an email asking for a review. I'm actually going to send one of these to ourselves. Just to show you what it looks like. Okay. So, and then we go, and again, if we'd made any changes, we could save that. But we're going to send that. So it says, hey, we sent it. It's that easy. How you use this is up to you. The way that I would do it is I would keep a running list either in your patient information, either in your patient management software, or even as something as simple as a pad of paper that you're keeping, and you're remembering who that you want to send these emails out to, people who are already enthusiastic about your practice. And then when they get that, let me show you what it looks like. So let me just go and I'll log into my Gmail account. Already logged in there. Thanks for visiting us today. And then they get this email. So thanks for your business. And again, you can customize exactly what this says. What happens is they click on the Rate Us. It's going to take it to that ratings page that I just showed you immediately there. Now, watch this, because this is one of the coolest features here. Let's say that somebody really loves your practice. They give you 5 stars, right? So click on Send. They're going to get the ability to either rate you on Dentist for Kids, or they're going to get the ability to rate you on Google, Facebook, Yelp. This is going to take them directly to those pages. They don't have to search for you. They don't have to try to find you. It's going to take them directly to the places where you need the reviews the most. Now, let me refresh this page and show you something else. What if they don't love the experience? What if they were just moderately satisfied? Okay, experience, but. So they choose 3 stars. Name, email address, optional. They click on Next. Looks like we could have done better. And then they get to fill out this form. They're never taken. They never see those links. They go directly to those sites where you really don't want them to leave a review. Instead, this comes only to you. It comes to whatever email you specify. It goes directly to your email address. So this is actually a feature that really gets used a lot. It's something that we've seen even yesterday. We saw one of our dentists had several emails that were sent through the system, and they were not so great. 2 stars, 3 stars. They never made it online. It gave them a place to vent. It gave them a place to go offline, like we talked about earlier, and it was all through the Review Pro system. Now, let me show you this. If you're listening to me, 10% discount on Practice Promoter or Review Pro. Summer Review 10 expires at the end of next month Only the people who listen to this webinar get this code. So write that down if you're interested at all. If you have any questions, please reach out and contact us. I'm going to switch this over, so I'm going to end this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to the chat so I can take questions and answers. I noticed just a second ago that I've got a couple coming through, so I'm going to hang on here as long as it takes to answer all of these questions. But otherwise, thank you so much. You're going to see when you exit out of this, you're going to see a link to leave us a survey. Please do that. Tell us how we did. Tell us what we can improve in these, and thank you so much for attending. Now, let's